We're standing in front of the Pakistan Monument in Islamabad, which gives a bird's-eye view of the city, its roots and its major landmarks.
Perhaps what is required is the bird's-eye view of Pakistan's foreign policy, in particular of the region, which is affected most by what happens here. Welcome to Eye of the Storm. I'm Wajahat Ali.
And I'm Amber Shamsi. This week on Eye of the Storm, we'll be looking at Pakistan's relations with its neighbors against a backdrop of trade and terrorism. But first, the highlights.
The road to Kabul.
Drinking to access.
Border insecurity.
En route to the Silk Route.
For years, India has been pushing to use the route between the Wagah border and the Khyber tribal regions to trade with Afghanistan.
But given the history of mistrust, Pakistan has been reluctant. Now that Pakistan and Afghanistan have signed an MOU agreeing to revisit the transit trade agreement, India appears to be a beneficiary in absentia. I spoke to former Foreign Minister Gohar Ayub about the fears of allowing India access to Afghanistan through Pakistan. Welcome to Eye of the Storm, Mr. Ayub.
Thank you.
The Foreign Office and the Commerce Ministry have denied that India is involved in the Memorandum of Understanding signed between Afghanistan and Pakistan in Washington. Then why do you think so much fuss is being made about India benefiting from the transit agreement?
See, if there's a transit agreement between Pakistan and Afghanistan, so that transit has to be for Afghan goods coming through Pakistan or Afghan goods going through Pakistan, because Afghanistan is a landlocked country. Now, if there's a transit agreement, it has to be with the countries that are around Pakistan. So it naturally follows, and there is a certain amount of transit agreement and goods flowing between India through Pakistan into Afghanistan. And I think our Foreign Office possibly is shying off, and a Commerce Ministry. Though the agreement that they have signed, or just as a memorandum of understanding, does not specify India as such. But what happens is that if they are Indian goods, where do they go from? Either they'll have to come from Karachi, or from Gwadar, or the Wagah border, or Tharparkar, whatever it is, going through Pakistan. In Washington, when they said that this agreement has been pending for last 45 years, now if it was just a simple agreement between Pakistan and Afghanistan, it could have been signed in a day or two, because they have already draft before them something that has been working since 1965, and they would have updated it by changing the names of the personalities signing it and changing the dates when it's to be signed and maybe some of the goods.
Do you think that giving India access through Pakistan would give it an economic stake in the stability of Pakistan?
See, the whole thing is lack of trust. If you take the older generation, there's hardly any trust. But however, as time passes, possibly this can be resolved to some extent, and as they have been doing, that the back-channel effort with India to come to some sort of resolution, maybe not the perfect resolution. Once that is there, I think more confidence would emerge, and more trade between the two countries, because we are neighbors. So possibly that might not happen in the very near future, but possibly Pakistan and India can hope one day to achieve something like that.
Let's go back in history again for the Afghan Transit Trade Agreement. It was first signed in 1965.
Correct.
And now they're signing a fresh agreement. Could you tell us a little more about...
See, the fresh agreement possibly would cater for some things which should not be included in the agreement that can be smuggled back into Pakistan. But Hillary Clinton and the others have been saying, the Secretary of State for the United States, that this has been on for the last 45 years, and it's an achievement, and it's not this transit trade between Pakistan and Afghanistan will be there, and beyond. Now, when you say beyond, it means the transit of India going through Pakistan, Afghanistan, and then beyond Afghanistan. That would mean the whole of the Central Asian republics, the Russian Federation, the Ukraine, Georgia, all these three Scandinavian countries, etc., and into Europe. So that possibly what should have happened is before the agreement does not say so. The MOU does not say this at all. But in the talk that went on with Hillary Clinton and President Karzai and President Zardari, etc., and all these people being there, implied that this transit trade agreement envisages possibly in the future something beyond what is written in the MOU.
Thank you for being on the show, Mr. Ayub.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
The National Assembly has also debated the pros and cons of the Pak-Afghan Transit Trade Agreement.
To see whether there's more conspiracy than theory to granting India route rights, we asked some experts.
There are three options in a situation like this. Option A, that you could actually have an agreement of bilateral nature between Pakistan and Afghanistan. That's a position A. Position B, you could have a situation where you have a transit trade agreement in which it is said something to the effect that if the state of Pakistan wishes to add on any state, it will do so with the consent of the other state. Position 3 is that where in a transit trade agreement you come to a conclusion, look, we are entering into a transit agreement. Now, if I wish to do as state A, trade with any state in the region, and I wish to have those goods arrive at me, or I need to send them to them, you will ensure the transit. Then that's a different situation. And it is this kind of a situation, I believe, which people have in mind when they are raising questions and they are raising doubts about this agreement.
Transit trade facilities are allowed to landlocked countries all over the world. And even without a transit trade agreement, we allow Afghanistan access to the port of Karachi, and a lot of merchandise is passing through Karachi for eventual destination of Afghanistan.
Our problem is in India are ever increasing. The list is increasing. And Sir Creek and Siachen and Kashmir, and now water has also been added. And unless these issues are resolved and there is some confidence between these two nations, this sort of concession should not be given just like that.
We must provide transit facility to the Indian goods and vice versa on their way to Afghanistan. I think it would bring India into this loop, and I think it would also fit in very well into our strategy for working out a new compact with Iran, India and China. And I think that alone would guarantee that we have less and less dependence on America and the West.
We have a very large size of Afghan trade transit through Pakistan, and Pakistan also is a very big gainer. If this route gets opened, it would be at the cost of Pakistani tradesmen, and our traders community is going to suffer also if this Indian goods are transited through Pakistan. So
It's time now for a short break.
But coming up, exporting more than just Persian carpets.